Okay.
I never heard that before. The Sameach,
yeah, I made it up yesterday. Yeah. There's another Shebrach in Beiruvin on Shabbos. Yeah. Thinking I'm going. Afterwards, I was thinking afterwards. That's sort of an even better speech. Maybe I'll ask to speak again on Shabbos. I'll try. All right. We're on Daf Chafam Beis, and we are before the Mishnah still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lines up from the Mishnah. We're up to the words, it's by a dot. Oh, I know if there's a dot there. I can't see if I made it myself. The Mutar B'Torah's Treifa. I think I made it. Is there a dot there, V'acha K? Mutar B'Torah's Treifa, do you have that?
No, there's no dot.
Okay, I made it myself.
Yeah, there's a dot of the Hach.
Yeah. Okay. Mutar B'Torah's Treifa, though, is a new statement. It's quote from the Mishnah. It says that if you took a neder not to derive any benefit from fish, so Torah's trufa is okay. Now, Torah's trufa is really regular fish, just chopped up, and we say that it's like a filter fish. I don't know if it's actually a filter fish or just like a fish salad, but in any event, the Gemara comes to the interesting conclusion that when you ask yourself on dog, you mean whole fish, not chopped up fish.
So once you can't recognize it.
Right. Once it's like a chopped.
What about tuna?
Yeah, it would be the same thing. If you were noider from fish, it wouldn't include tuna fish. At least Bismat Gemara. I don't know if that would be true anymore today, but that was the case at the time of the Gemara.
Wouldn't be able to recognize what tuna fish is.
Right. So that's right. V'shein true for aser. But if it's not chopped up, then it's forbidden because that's included as neder on fish. Rabbi Yirmiyah Amar Zir Boile. Rabbi Yirmiyah asked, does this argue on Rabbi Yochanan? So Rabbi Yochanan said, Hilchu b'nedarim achal loshem ne'odah. And they went in the lashon of in the Dorim after the language of individuals. Now, this is not really going back on what we just learned now. It's going back on the Gemara before, which said that if a person said that he's not going to eat fish, then he's also all sorts of fish, whether they're small, large, or small. Person says he's not going to eat doga, so it only answers kalchid, a certain type of very small fish. So, right, something like that. So if that's the case, the Gemara asks, so kalchid is doga and not dog, right? Leitzurcha, is that true? Leitzurcha the barna. So the Gemara says, yes, it's true. Leitzurcha the barna shmeir melchavrei zavin linuna vu zavin leikalchid. People, I don't know exactly how their marketplaces work, but when people say, sell me a fish, nun and America is a fish, they don't give them a kalchid. But the kalchid is not including dog, it's specifically doga. People don't, when they're asked for fish, don't in a fishmonger store, they wouldn't offer him the kalkid, they'd offer something else. So therefore, kalkid is not included in the parameters of fish. Okay? Again, I don't know what kind of fish it is, but it's something which is so dissimilar. Crab. I don't know what it is. It's something which is not, obviously it's kosher, but something which is not like fish itself. Rabbi Yavin Shlomo Basra. Rabbi Yavin heard the same thing from the next case, where it said, as we just mentioned, Anoida B'Torah is trufa mutar b'tzir uver murios. If somebody who takes a neder not to eat chopped fish is allowed to eat fish brine and fish oil. Oh, so it sounds like, now here the next words, two words, instead of saying b'she'ena trufa, it should be b'tzachana aser. Tzachana means a mixture of small types of fish. Again, I don't know exactly what the differences between all these things are, between the chopped fish and the mixed up types of fish. So it's some sort of mixed fish dish. So we see here that this is even the person takes a neder from Torah's trufa. So there he's allowed to have tir murias, which are obviously brine oil and not chopped up fish, right? But tzachara is also. So again here the Gemara says Rebbe Amar. Obviously the word missing because it couldn't be Rebbe the Tana. Rebbe Amar Rebbe Zira boy. The Rebbe Zira asked the question. The laser the plea Rebbe Yochanan is not arguing Rebbe Yochanan. Rebbe Yochanan Amar Rebbe Yochanan said Hilchum Nedarim Achalosh Bnei Adam. Right, and here how does Mitzko Koy Losh Bnei Adam? When a person says Taris Trufa, he doesn't mean to include Sachana. Says Gemara, yes, Leis Urcha, Leis Urcha the Barnosh Meimer Chavrei Zomli Tori Vuzovin Leit Sachana. Is it not? This is really. I think it's. I'm not sure if it's a question or if this is part of the question or part of the answer. But the gist of it is, either it's part of the question or part of the answer. I think it's part of the answer. It's not the way of individuals to call to when they sell, when they come in to buy Tori. They mention they want Toris. The guy gives them back Tzachana. So Tzachana is considered to be in Loshem Ne'odam a form of Toris. Okay, whatever it is, it is. And indeed, Talmud and in Bavel, they call Teresa Tzachana. They call Teresa Tzachana. So the bottom line is the Gemara just comes up with this conclusion that whatever people, we knew this already, but this Mishnah just reinforced that, whatever people call by a specific name, it goes by what people call it, not by the genus and the species to which it's affiliated. So therefore, if dog has a connotation, and dogim have a connotation, and dogga has a connotation, each one answers based on except the connotation among people, not based on any other standards.
I think Taurus, isn't that a fish? It's one of the astrological signs.
Taurus is a bull.
Oh, is it a bull?
Yeah. Well, it's a car too, but it's a bull. I think it's a bull. Okay? Tor in Aramaic also, there's Tor is a shore.
Shore.
Right. Okay? Right. Tura, that's right. Somebody who takes again, the same principle. Somebody takes a neder not to derive any benefit from milk. So mutabakum is allowed to derive benefit from whey. Milk and whey are not the same thing, even though, of course, one is derived from the other. It catches too. Rabbi Sholta, whey doesn't have to be chav Yisrael. Yeah. It's milk, but it's milk chek, but it doesn't have precisely the same parameters. So Anoidim Minachol Mutabakum is allowed to have whey. Rabbi Yossi or Rabbi Yossi forbids. Minakum, the person takes a neder not to have kum. Mutabachov is allowed to have milk. Abba Shomer, Anoidim Minagvino, somebody who takes a neder not to have cheese. Also, bar is also to have cheese, ben mulucha ben fula, whether the cheese is salty or not. Mulucha is salty, fula is unsalted. Right. Okay? Says more Amal Bekum, what's kum? Chalba Miktara. It's milk which is literally Miktara means it's knotted. So it means after the milk has curdled and becomes solidified, it's the runoff from that milk. That's called kum. Okay? Literally, I think the word kum means kum means to stand. So then, which is kam, is like solidified. Right. So that's where it comes from. My time, Rabbi Yossi, what's the logic of Rabbi Yossi who answers the way when you said milk? So Shem Avi correlates. Interesting for for some reason I intuited that, as you probably would have at this point is already that this type of svara is not in the Bavli. The Yerushalmi says it's called by its father's name. Or its kum is a son of milk, right? So therefore it's milk. If you according to Rabbi Yossi, if you answer milk, so then you answer whey because you answer the overarching original substance, so that answers the whey as well. Okay? Now, Daita Rabbi Yossi, according to Rabbi Yossi, Hanoidim Miyayin also B'Yayim Avushal. If somebody takes a neder not to drink wine, we hold he's allowed to drink cooked wine. But according to Rabbi Yossi, it's also B'Yayim Avushal. Why is that? Because it's Chamra Mivashla. It's cooked wine. So what's the Av? The Av is the wine, and you took a neder from the Av. So therefore, you're also in the Yayin Mavushal, even though Regabi Kashrus, the Yayin Mavushal again does not have the same parameters as regular wine. So now that's sufficient, however, to make it.
He's not making himself a nozer. He's just making a neder.
No, just from wine. Right. Not from grape byproduct.
I wouldn't apply if he made himself a nozer.
Right. Okay. This is where now this is a little bit of a change of gears. This is Mr. Rabbi Shimon said named Rabbi Shua. Kol davar sheish lo matirin. Anything which can be made permissible in some way other than bittul. Right? You don't have to. You have some other tool which you use other than bittul to make it mutter. Kigo, such as tevel. Right? Tevel you can make a mutter by taking off trubus and meitzers. Meitzers sheni you can make mutter by redeeming it. Be'ekdesh, you can make mutter by redeeming it as well. Be'achodesh, make a mutter by bringing the korban over. Lo nadu lehem chachamim shir. Chachamim did not give a specific shir for bittul by them, for nullification. Elamin v'mina b'koshu, it gets mixed up in a similar substance. Then the shir is, no matter how small a mixture it is, how small the prohibited substances which is mixed in, nevertheless it asers. So that's the general principle, the rabbinic principle, davar sheish lo matirin. Davar sheish lo matirin means anything which can be mutter in some other way. We don't use bittul in order to make it mutter. Chazal made a decree. Say if you don't, instead of eating while it's aser, and using bittul, eat it while it's mutter, and do the rectification which is going to make it mutter.
So let's say some chodesh gets mixed in with yosh.
Yeah, you have to wait till after Pesach, second day Pesach, or it's here.
It's not bittul rov.
No bittul rov. That's what we're saying, right? Even though the rice would be bittul, but Rabbanan barred your reliance on bittul rov in this case. Okay. Right. That's right. That's right. So I forget who says that, but there is somebody who says, one of the Rishonim says the reason why chometz is not bottle even b'mashu is because of it's because of davar sheish lo matirin. Those who say it's because of chumra chometz, but more there are those who say it's because of davar sheish lo matirin. I forget who said it. Yeah, well here it doesn't say chometz, but that's the idea. Right. Black application. So it says more ella. Rather, if it gets mixed in with similar stuff, kosher, no matter how small the shear, it's awesome. But shalom, if it gets mixed in stuff which is not of its type, no time, then as long as it gives a taste, the mixture is prohibited. Once the taste goes away, so then it's no longer prohibited.
So it's sherry casks on the single malt.
See, I don't know if they give a taste or don't give a taste. The Pashas is, in my opinion, that they would give a taste. Why else would they do it?
Why else would they line with sherry?
But allegedly, Bill Kenter went through the issue and found out that they don't actually give a taste. I don't know, but that's to me it makes no sense. I don't understand the whole thing. Okay, so anyway, so says Gemara, anything which cannot become mutter another way, kigon truma, such as truma, where you can't make a mutter another way, the challah and challah you can make mutter another way, ba'arla, same thing. And kila karam, stuff which grew in a mixture of grain and wine and grapes. So all those nosam chalam shir, Chalam said they are bata when you have a specific shear because of the concept of davar she'ein matir. They're can't be mutter in any other way, and therefore min b'mino they get mixed into a similar type. Skip the next two words; they're superfluous. Chachamim and really the way to read it actually is nosam chalam shir min b'mino. They're various different shirim. Sometimes it's 60, sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's 200, depending on the severity of the substance. But shalom, here too, if it gets mixed with something else, then the prohibition has been no same time. The prohibition is based on the amount of taste, on giving taste into the mixture. How we take off of dough? So it's like truma. Yeah. So the interesting thing is there's a Ridbaz here. The Ridbaz says that brings down a Taz, and the Taz says why is truma also not davar sheish lo matirin? You can go me matir neder on truma too. The separation of truma is a form of neder. Why can't you call davar sheish lo matirin? Because instead of using bittul, you can just go and be matir neder. So the Taz says, and you have to say it's really fundamental, even though the Ridbaz has a lot of difficulties with this. He says that since truma is a mitzvah, right? So therefore, the mitzvah is to keep it that way. By Nedarim, the exact opposite is true. It's a mitzvah to get rid of the neder, to be shoyl on the neder. So if in Nedarim, it might be considered davar sheish l'matir under normal circumstances. But use the neder to perform a mitzvah such as truma, then we don't call it davar sheish l'matir because we don't want you to undergo and undermine the mitzvah which you did of setting aside trumas and maasros and make it render again tevel. By truma, we don't want you to render it tevel again by being matir neder. By truma sumaisus, you did a mitzvah. Why would you want to render? So that's not considered davar sheish matir, even though theoretically you could be a matir neder. You could go to chacham and be matir neder on your truma, but we don't consider that because that's davar sheish matir.
You could matir the neder?
You could be matir neder on truma, yeah, sure.
Once it's truma, you gotta give it.
You could have to, you think it's once you're matir neder, your food is tevel again. You can't eat it. So why would you want to do that? But you can be matir neder. But by nedarim, the Gemara is about to ask, what's the story by nedarim? They consider it davar sheish matir because you go to a chacham, or it's not davar sheish matir. So why the chorah truma is also neder, but that's the neder we want you to keep. It's a mitzvah to keep. The neder, a regular neder, is a mitzvah to get rid of. So that's why a neder might be davar sheish, a generic neder might be davar sheish matir, even though the specific neder making truma is not a davar sheish matir. Because I better check if he usually doesn't come this late, so maybe he's not coming. But let me just check and see if Mayor.
Sure, the lights are out.
Yeah, well.
The lights were out in the library. Can you see the library from here?
You can't. Okay. So says the Gemara. In the door, mat avilun. So what's the status of a neder? Davar sheish l'matir or davar sheish l'matir? A neder, a regular neder, it's admitted you can be shoel. So what's the status of regular neder? Is that a davar sheish l'matir or davar sheish l'matir? So says the Gemara. Mistabra makes sense to say me'abdina that we make it kid davar sheish l'matir, like something like a davar sheish l'matir. The Tzin Tamam we learned over there shazokin oker saneder meikaro, that a zokin undermines the neder retroactively, and therefore it's a davar sheish l'matir because the whole neder is batal mavuto retroactively. That's a davar sheish l'matir. Alma they said. He only does it from here on in. Now, everybody has difficulties with like this because, what do you mean he only does it from here on in? Everybody agrees that a neder is retroactively canceled.
Never existed.
It's never canceled. So they want to say the Korban Eidah has a pshat which seems to be as reasonable as anything else written on the topic, that so since it was usher till now because of his neder, so therefore it's not, and he can't do it on his own. He has to go to chacham to do it. So therefore, it's like a davar she'elam matir, because it's not. It's something where, how should I put it? It's not an easy thing to be matir it. It's a complex and difficult process to be matir. Davar she'elam matir is something where it's very easily, rectified otherwise, but here it's difficult to rectify it otherwise. We're being matir neder. You have to find somebody else, and you have to during the time which the neder was not yet mutter, you have to be careful. So therefore, it's really, I guess it sounds somewhat balbatish, but really that makes it like a davar she'elam matir. The fact that it's so difficult to get a mutter makes it like a davar she'elam matir.
Does it matter which method you're using to amount the neder, such as harata or pesach?
It doesn't seem that way. The Ritbaz wants to make some noise about that.
I'm sure I could work something.
Yeah,
Right.
There is such a thing. Now that you remind me, there is such a thing in the Bavli. With the Bavli, there's such a thing. It's a distinction made between Karat and Pesach. I don't remember exactly what it is, but you're right. It could be maybe that would be somewhere. Maybe it has something to do with it. It comes up in 9th paragraph in the Nedarim. Maybe it'll come up here too, but I don't remember exactly how that would work. Okay, says Gemara, V'dor Masnisa, Harvalo Kedavar Shishmatir. Now this Bryce we're about to learn, actually I think it's a Mishnah later on. No, it's a Mishnah Trumas. Makes Truma like a Davar Shishmatir. Now we learned till now that Truma is a Davar Shishmatir, but now we're going to learn a Mishnah that says Davar Shishmatir. The Torah we learned over there. Gidulei Truma. If you planted Truma, took stuff which is Truma, and usually what happens is, why would you plant the ground? Because the Truma became Tomei. And the way to take Truma off of Truma is by planting it again, right? The thing is that when you do that, you really, we don't want you to do that, because then we're afraid you're going to grow crops which have Kedusha as Truma, and not eat them as Truma. So if we find you, how do we find you? So we said, Gidulei Truma, Truma. We said whatever grows is Truma. Oh no, that's not the reason why. Sorry, we find you. Sorry, I made a mistake. We find you that whatever you grow has the status of Truma. Because otherwise, we're afraid you're going to leave the Truma Tameya around, and somebody will come to eat it before you plant it. Which means the right, so anytime you plant Truma in the ground, it becomes nullified and becomes, then if it sprouts again, it becomes clean. So, but Rabban are afraid if somebody had Truma Tameya, he'd leave it around until such time as he could plant it, and then, if he gets chulin, of course it's to his advantage. So in order to deprive that advantage, they said everything which grows from Truma is itself Truma. Okay? Means Truma. So Gedulei Truma. The Gedulei, but if you are big enough Russia that you took it grew the second time, planted it again, and made a third generation, then the third generation is chulin. So, what we see here, what? Well, it must be Davar She'ein Lo Matir, because it was Davar Sheyesh Lo Matir. Then how could it be mutter the Gedulin? Why would that be mutter? Let's make it usher as well, right? So it must be from the fact we didn't make Gedulin usher that we consider it.
The third generation, the third planting is Yesh Lo Matir. The second one is Ein Lo Matir.
No, Fakir. The third generation is Ein Lo Matir. That's why it becomes mutter, but that's why it's mevatel the truma. We don't advise another way. There is no other way to make a mutter. So it seems from here that the truma is a davar she'ein lo matir, because we say it's mutter in of itself without having to be matir, without having to be matir neder. Right? We don't make it be matir neder. It could be matir neder. No, that's the principle of davar she'ein lo matirin, that truma is not going to be a davar she'ein lo matirin because it's a mitzvah to keep it as is. So therefore, it's not going to be a davar she'ein lo matirin. So it says achal avol tevel u'maiser rishon. For one has tevel, stuff which is untied altogether, u'maiser rishon, and stuff which is first maiser, which trumas maiser has to be taken. Usvichei shvius, and wild growth during shmita. Utrumas chutzlaretz, and truma taken off of chutzlaretz, which is regarded as tomei. V'amaduma, a mixture of truma and chulin. That's called meduma. V'abikurim, and bikurim are the first fruits of the status of truma. So gidulei and chulin, the actual growth is chulin. Why is that? The actual growth is chulin. Because we're not afraid you're going to leave it around and eat it. Why make the actual growth truma? Because we're afraid you're going to go around and eat it, right?
Why are they not afraid that they're going to eat svichei shvius?
Because even if they do, it's only a lot, not a chiv misa.
Meiser rishon also?
Actually, Meiser rishon not. You're asking good. Why did we make a zero on Meiser Rishon? Well, I'll tell you why. Because we're not talking about a case where we forgot to take off Trumas Meiser. There, the true teeth of Meiser Rishon is Takim L'chayv Yumisa. This way, he took off the Trumas Meiser. He took off the Trumas Meiser. He gave it to the Kohen. The thing is that now, the question is with the Meiser Rishon itself is not considered to be Davar Sheish L'Matir or Davar Shein L'Matir. Meiser itself, once you took off the Trumas Meiser, it's separated. So now is the remainder of Davar Sheish L'Matir and Davar Shein L'Matir. Okay? So in that, the Gemara says, even though somebody could theoretically be Matir Neder and the Meiser Rishon made two, people are not going to do that, right? They're not supposed to do that. That's what he's saying. Again, Abu Tevel, Meiser Rishon, Sfiche Shvius. Stuff which goes wild during from Truma. I'm sorry, from Meiser Rishon and during Shemitah. And Truma's Chutzah to Truma Chutzah is also let only the Rabbana, not the Raisa. Umaduma and mixtures of which I guess the right to be batel of Truma and other stuff. By Bikurin for his fruits, Gidule and Chulin, that which grows to them is Chulin. Gidule, period. Gidule Hekdesh, that which grows from Hekdesh. Meiser Sheni, and that which grows from Meiser Sheni. Chulin, it's Chulin, but it should be Upoda Osam, instead of Yifta. Upoda Osam, you have to redeem them, Bisman Zaram. It should be Kizman Zaram. You have to redeem them like the time that they are the time they were planted. But if you planted Meiser Sheni stuff specifically, you can redeem it, right? So how do you determine the redemption price? Like what grows or what you planted? So Gemara says you go by the time that you plant. To make her cool, I assume. So in any event, no, but you have to wait till harvest anyway to eat it. How are you going to eat it unless you harvested it, right?
Sell the futures.
No, that's not so. You have to actually take off the Meiser only when you have to redeem it when it exists. So in any event, be as it may, why are we reading this all down? The Thailand, we learn concerning this by Medvar more in Tapachov and Bays. By Medvar more in Bisman Shekol Zaro Kola. When do we say all these things apply that you can redeem and all that kind of stuff? When the seed rots in the earth. But it's something where the seed does not rot in the earth. Gidulei Gidulim Asurin. The growth of the growth is Asur. Now, this is a kasha, actually, because that's case, isn't that like Davar Sheish L'Matir? Because it's saying by Meiser Sheni that you have to, that the Gidulei Gidulim are Asur, right? How come? Let it be batel, just like the Gedulim are also. Let the Gedulim be batel, and so must be that it's a Davar Sheish L'Matir, and therefore you want to redeem it. So says the Gemara, Rechomer who be Gedulin. No, it's a severity by Gedulin. Nothing to do with whether Davar Sheish L'Matir or Davar Shein L'Matir. It's a severity by Gedulin. The Amar Rabbi Zir b'Shem Rabbi Yonasan. Rabbi Zir said name Rabbi Yonasan. But so shall Kiliyakar if you have an onion which grew in a vineyard, which is forbidden, Sha'akor that you uprooted with Shaslo and you plant it again. A few hostif come even it became several sizes larger. So now you can't see the core anymore, which became Asur, right? You can't see the core which was in the vineyard. So nevertheless, I feel that which is grew in Isser does not overwhelm the Isser. It's an interesting principle. That which grew in Isser. If you grew Meiser Sheni stuff from Meiser Sheni seed, it's considered to be grown in Isser. Because the seed from which it came is also. So therefore whatever grows is also as well. Okay? So that's he's saying that the same thing is true about the onion over here. Even though now there are many layers on top of the inner layer which grew in the forbidden vineyard, nevertheless it remains also as well. Is that making sense?
Well, you don't recognize the onion anymore.
Well, you do recognize the onion, you don't recognize the part of the onion which grew in the prohibition. So there's a very small bulb, and now it's a very large bulb. So that's enough, the Gemara says. That's the Gemara says. You might say that that's considered to be. Well, it says here. You might say that that at that point this is uprooted. So that's like saying Gemara says here that the Isser still remains intact, even though the core is very small. Now, the Gemara is saying that that's a special gzera by Gidulei Gidulim. Or by Gidulim. Well, it's one Gidul, I don't know exactly where this came from. Kilei HaKerem, so it's one prohibition. Let's do prohibitions. I don't know why I'm having this much difficulty. It's quite straightforward. The more asks the question, it seems that we see from the fact that Gedulim are also. From this we seem to see that it's like Davar Sheish L'Matirin. We tell you, go redeem it. Right? It says more, no, get a life. That's not the reason why. The reason why is because Gidul, they are machmir by Gidul. It's a special halacha b'chumra, they are machmir. And the reason why they are machmir is because the principle she'en gidulei iser malim iser. Ultimately, everything in this mixture came from iser. It all came from Meiser Sheni. It all came from Truma. There's no bittul here to say. Davar Matir, when I say bittul, what does bittul mean? There's substance A and substance B which opposes it here. But here it's not really the case. Here it's all grew from Meiser Sheni seeds, from whatever seeds, Kilei HaKerem seeds. So therefore, it's not a davar sheish lo matir. We're preventing bittul, which otherwise would apply to work. No, this is not bittul.
So even for gedulim.
What?
It's the next.
Yeah, it's not bittul. If you ask for gedulim, which is what it does here, only in the case where it has a bulb, a group from a bulb, then yeah, same thing. It all grew Isser, so you're not going to be matir. So the thing is over there, it's more of an Arab Marasayan issue. Right, because well, not just Gam, but I'm saying that the people saw that it grew, and they say, oh, that's the uncle's onion from the vineyard. So that's why we asked her. But the idea is fundamentally sound, that we're more machmir by Gidulim because it's not really a true bittul, in the sense that there isn't a usher substance and a mutter substance, but everything came from usher substance. You want to say that usher substance transformed into a mutter substance because it regrew again, but that's not a classic bittul. So therefore, it's not because that we're depriving the situation of a bittul, because it's a davar sheish l'matir, but rather saying this is something where Chazal imposes special stringency because it's recognizable, because it came from a davar eser, etc., etc.
So how about what we learned earlier in the previous stuff about the Truma?
Yeah.
Gedulim were permissible.
Right. Because this is talking about where that's dafka davar she'en zaro kola. It doesn't grow from bulbs. If it grows from bulbs, then we ask to do it. Okay? So it says the word Bahamas Nisa. The next price we bring makes it kedavar. Here it's the type of the Rashba. The Ridbaz brings on the Rashba. It makes it the following brisa makes it kedavar she'elu matir. Makes true like davar she'elu matir. Now, like makes nedarim actually in this case, davar she'elu matir. It's not the thing we learned over there. Hasha noider min hadavar. So he takes a neder to refrain from a certain thing, but he's sorry when it got mixed up, but acher in something else. It gives a taste. That raises also it's forbidden. Now, says the Gemara. So far, it seems to be straightforward. Tipoter. Let's analyze this case and say it's about min b'she'eino mino, where it's one type and a type which is dissimilar. It should be here instead of kidavar. It should be min b'mino. It was actually min b'mino. It's supposed to be mino. Then we make it like kidavar, even though it says bidavar. It would be kidavar. Shreish matir be like something which has a heter some other way. So a very strange raya from this Mishnah. The Mishnah says regular nedarim of min b'sheino mino are b'no seintah. So with this we deduce that if it's min b'mino, so similar type. So then it's not batal at all, and that would be, of course, be a right if you say it's not batal at all. To say that we paskin that nether is davar she'eino matir, because if it was davar she'eino matir, it should be batal and lesser shir, but it must be it's like davar she'eino matir, she'eino matir, and therefore it's not mutter unless you are matir it in some other way, such as by being shown on your nether. Okay, so this mission seems to indicate that nedarim are davar she'eino matir. Okay, again, because it's a funny thing, because the Mishnah itself says we're inferring from the Mishnah. The Mishnah says if it's no sitam, it's bottom. No, it means mino. It's not bottom. Why would it not be bottom mino? The only reason we can think of is because it must be like davar she'eino matir. Okay, says Mishnah further. Anoider min habasar. Somebody took an oath not to eat meat. Mutter relative is allowed to eat the rotev, the sauces, and the kippah. This is like I don't know exactly why you define this, but it's like meat particles which are in the pot but not actually part of the meat. Is that making sense? Like it's like little flakes of meat. I don't know how to describe it. Scraps, maybe, I don't know, but it's smaller than scraps. Okay. So, but it's the stuff which is in a semi-solid gravy. That's the stuff in the gravy. Okay. It says forbidden. Rabbi said, "Ma'asav also Rabbi Tarvam beitzim sheis bashel b'tocho." Once Rabbi forbade to me the eggs which are cooked in the sauce or in the gravy. Amrlo, they said, v'chein hadover. I think that's astonishment. So the question, v'chein hadover is in fact that way? I think that's what it means. Amosai, in any event, when is this true? B'zman she'ein oshamar basar zeh olai. They said this meat should be upon me. Avol hanoider min hadavar. But something makes it not to have something, even sorry, but acher got mixed with something else. Im yesh b'mano same time, if there's a taste still exuded, harei also it's forbidden. Hanoider min, somebody takes a netter from wine. Mutar b'tavshul sheyesh bo tam yain. He is permitted in a cooked dish which has the taste of wine. Omar kodim yain zeh sheni toem said, not this wine. I scared. Now I understand what the Hadover is. I just blanked out. Let me go back to the beginning of the Mishnah minute. Somebody takes nether from meat. Mutar b'roitev v'kippah is allowed to have the roitev is the sauce or the gravy, and the kippah the little particles of meat in the gravy. We say Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yehuda, oyster, we just forbid. Rabbi Yehuda said, Meiser. V'amar li v'asar li Rabbi Tarver beit me beitzim she's pashel b'tochel, the eggs that are cooked inside the sauce. Amrlo, they said, V'chein that's true. V'chein means that's true. But Amosai, when is it true? Bismat shomar basar zeh olai. This is actually a fascinating thing. If I said, meat is usher on mine, I didn't ask for any specific piece of meat. So meat is usher on me, but not gravy, nor, the particles of meat in the gravy. If I say this meat is on me, and then you cook that piece of meat,
then gravy is
exactly, the gravy gets impregnated.
Any derivative of that particular piece of meat.
That particular piece of meat, you got it. Okay, so that's what it means. Okay?
Principle with the fish before.
Right. So Amos says, Manchmar Bus says alive, a minat dovar, but somebody takes a nether from a thing, the sarabag then gets mixed up in other things, right, like meat in the gravy. Im yesh bo no same time, if it's got a taste of razor, also it's forbidden. Hanoida minat yayin, mutzubatav sheshish puyutam yayin. So the person takes a nether from wine generically, he's allowed to eat a cooked dish which has wine in it. However, Amar Koinim Yain Zeh. You said this wine chain I'm not going to taste. In that case, another time should fell into cooked dish. Im yesh bo nenoi same time. If it gives a taste, I raise that also. That's written. Amar Rabbi Hillel, Rabbi said, Mekemach Amar Zeh. Since you said the word Zeh, also love you made it forbidden upon you. He, it, van who, it. Also, and any derivative benefit from it. Okay, another mean ha-novim. So he takes it not to eat grapes. Have olives. Mutter b'shem is not to have oil. Omer konim zeistiv ha-novim. He says it forbids by itself olives and grapes. Elush, these. Shady time. Also when you eat them, he's also in them, and in that which is derived from them as well. Tana Rav Shimon Elazar Amar, konom. If they say konom, anytime it pertains to a thing which is normally eaten, and the things which are exude from it are also eaten. If it took a net about it, he's allowed to eat that which exudes from it. If it took a net out which is exuded from it, he's allowed in it. What is the example in this case? If you took a nether not to have olives or grapes, you're allowed to have olive oil and grape juice. If you took a nether not to have olive oil and grape juice, you're allowed to have olives and grapes. Okay?
What's the chiddush? She's just repeating the Mishnah.
None yet. The way he continues. Which is not normally eaten. No, you eat the stuff which comes from it. No darbo. If you took a nether in it, you're allowed to eat that which comes from it, and vice versa. That's good? Okay. Ma'isloch, what's the case of that? Going elaine to tire, such as berries. So berries, strawberries actually is tut in modern Hebrew. Yeah. People don't eat strawberry or berry juice, right? I think it's probably more like a strawberry. So since people don't eat the strawberry juice, so then in that case, if you made a nether in it, and strawberries allowed to have strawberry juice. Anything which is not eaten, people do eat that which comes off from it. Another bow. When took a nether in it, and here we finally have a Sarah Chiddush. Lo yitzkam liyotzim matter. You didn't merely mean to aser it upon yourself, because nobody eats it. Rather, you meant in that case to aser that which emanates or is exuded from it. That's your intent. Well, what's the case like that, Ma'isla? Amra Yosef said, Amra Yosef Yosef Rabbi Bun, Zironi Kinu Shem Ne'acholim. Seeds which grow in the garden which are not eaten. For example, the rape seed. What do they make from rape seed? R-A-P-E-S-E-E-D. Canola oil.
Really?
Yeah. So let's say he took a nether not to eat any rape seeds. I don't even know what a rape seed is, but let's say he took a nether like that. So that nether would actually not go on the rape seed, but rather on what? On the canola. because that's the case where only the derivative is eaten and not the original substance. Okay? Says more Ma'is law. Which is there. All right. Says the mission further. Anonymous. Somebody takes there not to eat date. Mutter dvashim is not to have date honey. He said vidvonios. If he took a netter not to have benefit from fermented dates, mutter is still allowed to have their vinegar. Rabbi Yehuda member say no. Kosher shem told daso kriya love. Anytime the derivative is called by the name of the object itself, so then Benoni Mena, he took an oath man. Also Rabbi Yotzi Mena, he also even which comes out of his netter, the ramifications. Chachamim say it's permissible. Yeah, according to Rabbi Yehuda, the chomet sitvonios, the vinegar from the sitvonios plant is awesome. Right? According to them, it's going to be mutter. Since it's called chomet sitvonios, whatever sitvonios are, but it's called vinegar of sitvonios, so it remains awesome.
The Gemara didn't mention anything about, I assume it's mutter, olives and olive oil regarding Hanukkah candles. Everyone likes Hanukkah candles with olive oil. Sure. So you could use the olive oil. If you took another against olives, you could use the
mitzvah. The Shabbos was used to pass the first half hour. Is that not a mitzvah? I don't remember what to say about it. So, amen. Says more, my time Rabbi Yossi. Why is Rabbi Yossi aser the it was actually Rabbi Yossi here? Yeah, we're going way back to way. Why is Rabbi Yossi aser way? That's Gemara's question. So it says my time Rabbi Yossi shem ovi korela, because he said that the way has named milk still. My time Rabbi Yehuda say, what's the larger Rabbi Yehuda and Beseira over here? Rabbi Yehuda and Beseira says that we answer the what?
The toldos.
The toldos. Hello? Hi. In the middle of saying share. 10:15 is Marv. Everything under control? Was it stormy? No. Okay. Oh, very nice. Okay, I'll speak to you later. Okay, I don't get out at 10:30. So, again, Rabbi Yehuda says, "Shem b'no kori olav." I must have missed something in the Mishnah. One second. Yeah, I missed the Mishnah. I missed that point in the Mishnah. Look back at the Mishnah. Rabbi Yehuda say Omer. It says kosher shem toldoso kriya olav. If another imenu asar b'yetzi imenu. Oh no, I got it right. No, I got it right. I don't know.
Yeah, it was Malchokas.
Yeah. So Rabbi says, my time Rabbi says more shame but no koreo law. Notice they're related to each other. The father and son are related. The Sitvonius and the Chomet Sitvonius are related. We stop Rabbi Yehuda. No, but nafkaminas like this. The Yerushalmi is not making itself clear. Let's say you took a netter from the son, from the Chomet Sitvonius. Is that after on the ben? Is that after the off, the Sitvonius as well?
Well, we said in the other things it doesn't.
Yeah, but Rabbi Yehuda Meseir, now more going to say it does, when Rabbi Yehuda Meseir.
For this specific instance of tomorrow?
Yes. Look what the Gemara says. Rabbi Yehuda Meseir, Mistab Rabbi Yehuda Meseir, Yodei, Rabbi Yossi. Well, let me start from line 4. My time Yehuda Meseir, shame, but no Korea love. It's not just shame of it. Rabbi Yossi said, if you ask her milk, you ask her whey. So Gemara is saying, Rabbi Yehuda holds it. He asked the way, it asks milk. Okay? So it works both ways according to Rabbi Yehuda. So Mustafa Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Yossi. He would agree with Rabbi Yossi that the father's name goes on the son. Rabbi Yossi lo Rabbi Yehuda he's not going to agree that the son's name goes on the father. Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Yossi, that's what Gemara says going on. Shem Beno lo Koshkein. If the son's name is called on the father, so Kal V'chomer Shem Aviv is called on the son. Rabbi Yossi lo Rabbi Yehuda lo Mal Shem Aviv. That the father's name goes on the son. Or Shem Beno lo, but the son's name doesn't go on the father. So again, the nafkamina is in that case of the Tzachon and Tzidvanios, and also in the Dvash. So if I answered honey, does it answer also the dates themselves? So according to Rabbi Yossi, it doesn't. If I answer dates, it answers honey, but not vice versa. According to Rabbi Yehuda if I answer the honey, it also answers the dates.
Why does he have this feeling for dates and whey and milk and not for the others, like the grapes?
It's all the same.
Oh, it is.
It's just we waited, we just did wait till now to summer. Okay. Anoida minayin. Mutter be yain tapuchim. So he thinks that if wine is allowed to have apple wine. It's not wine. Mina shemen from oil. Yeah, even though it's fermented, but still mutter. Mina shemen from oil. Mutter shemen should be allowed to have sesame seed oil. It wasn't called oil in the old days. Mina dvash. Mutter dvash tamarim. This obviously is going if it's a person, we know a person intended to be honey. So it doesn't include date honey. Mina choimet, from regular vinegar, mutter choimet tzitvan, it's not considered to be, that's a different type of vinegar, that date vinegar. Mina krishin, these are different types of gourds, I don't know exactly what they are. But mina krishin, mutter b'kaflutos. Mina yerek, from vegetables, mutter b'yarkos asoda. He's allowed to have field vegetables. Why is that? Mineshu Shem Levi, because it's a different name. It has an accompanying name to it. Vegetables and field vegetables are not the same thing. It seems that vegetables are stuff which grows in gardens, and field vegetables are more non-domesticated, wild, right?
So it seems like the Mishnah's talking about semantics.
Yes. Right, it is semantics. The Nedarim is all semantics. Good point. Yeah. Masnisa mokum she'ein kohen l'kaflutos krishin. Our Mishnah is talking about a case where they don't call kaflutos krishin. That's why the one is not include the other. Mokum she'kohen kaflutos krishin, but they do call kaflutos krishin. So then, lo b'do, is that not true? What our Mishnah says. In fact, if you answer upon yourself, then krishin is our kaflutos answers. Says no. Lochein tzrichon, it's going to tell us afilu mokum she'kohen kaflutos krishin. Even some people do call kaflutos krishin. Nevertheless, mina krishin, mutter kaflutos is not necessarily reflexive. Kaflutos are called krishin, but krishin are not necessarily called kaflutos. So in that case, if you ask a krishin, it doesn't ask a kaflutos. Okay, so it's like some people call zucchini squash, but they won't call squash zucchini, right? So if you ask upon yourself squash, you didn't ask upon yourself zucchini. The other way around. If you ask upon yourself squash, you ask upon yourself zucchini, but if you ask yourself zucchini, you didn't answer squash. Okay, whatever. Take my word for it. Okay. Says when Amina Yerk with the V'yarkos Hasadeh, Neshu Shem Levi, because it's got a company name. The time we're looking at this, Anoida Mina Yerk B'Shvi, somebody takes a neder not to eat vegetables, drink Shemitah. Also V'yarkos Hasadeh. During Shemitah, that applies also to field vegetables. You know why? Because there are no domesticated vegetables during Shemitah, because there's no gardens. So therefore, everything is, so he meant to ask for hefker vegetables. These are Rabbi Chispa B'Shem Rabbi Chino Ganil, Do'amar Taimo Odo, he said, this is true. Tamado Odo Do'amar Ad Shaloi to Rebbe Lavira, because it's for Rebbe allowed them to bring vegetables from Chutzor during Shemitah. Abashita Rebbe Lavira, Chutzor Loretz, once Rebbe allowed them to bring vegetables from Chutzor to Eretz Yisrael, he shviz to Shar Shnei Shavuot. Same thing, when you asked upon yourself the vegetables during Shemitah, you meant to answer the vegetables, domesticated vegetables, just the ones with chutzlaritz, because they're not in Eretz Yisrael. So you see, Nedarim could change over time. When there were no foreign vegetables during Shemitah, he asked upon himself the vegetables grew in Eretz Yisrael, which were wild. Once they started bringing domesticated vegetables with chutzlaritz, the nether reverted to the domesticated vegetables which are brought from chutzlaritz. Aram Rabbi Yisrael and Chanina, ocean, which is some sort of cabbage which is not normally eaten by human beings, right? Nevertheless, during Shemitah they're matami because they're considered to be significant. And again, says more, That's true. Actually, to Rabbi Levi Yerakas b'chutzarts. Eretz Yisrael Loretz. Amishita Rabbi Levi Yerakas b'chutzarts. He shvis yishar shnei shavua. Then the halacha changed. Okay, because now ocean revert to animal fodder type stuff. Okay, this is again one more case. At this time we learned a Ma'ari Mitzvah Shana. We don't make a leap year during Shemitah because it extends Shemitah, right? And the Glober Shvis, not Shemitah, Lo Mitzvah, it's not after Shvis. If they did it, raise the Muberes. Rabbi Avo said, Amar Ad Shalohita Rabbi Lachierk Mechutzar Tzorz. That's before they allowed importations. Amishita Rabbi Lachierk Mechutz La'aretz. Now they can already to be Ma'aber Shemitah as well, because anyway people are importing vegetables. Okay, the next one is already a new topic, and we'll leave it for after Pesach.
This year we're making Shemitah after a leap year.
No, that's okay. Leap year, the year after Shemitah can't be a leap year. Can't leap year.